Qur'an insight, the scholar who traveled the world searching for three answers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to seek knowledge? What drives a scholar to leave the comfort of home, to travel across lands, facing unknown dangers, just in search of answers that will transform his life forever? Today, we follow the remarkable journey of a scholar who embarked on a quest guided by the Qur'an, searching for three profound answers that many spend a lifetime trying to discover. In his travels, he faced challenges, met wise teachers, and witnessed the lives of nations, all while holding tight to the guidance of Allah. His story is one of faith, persistence, courage, and divine insight. Before we dive into this incredible journey, I want you to do three things. Like this video to honor the pursuit of knowledge. Comment below on which of the three answers you're most eager to discover. Subscribe to Wisdom from the Minbar and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson that can change your life. I am your brother, Mallam JIJI, and together we will explore how the Qur'an lights the path of those who earnestly seek understanding. The scholar's quest begins, understanding the desire for knowledge. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Every journey begins with a spark. And for our scholar, that spark was a burning question. What are the truths that guide humanity? Why are we here? And how can I live a life that pleases Allah? These questions would not be answered by comfort, by staying in one place, or by repeating what others had told him. He understood one crucial principle taught by the Qur'an. True knowledge requires effort, courage, and persistence. 1. The scholar's early life. The scholar grew up in a modest town, surrounded by books and teachers, but he felt something missing. He memorized portions of the Qur'an and learned Islamic sciences that he studied philosophy, history, and the nature of humanity. Yet, he noticed gaps in understanding, gaps that no classroom could fill. It was a restless curiosity that drove him, a curiosity that demanded answers beyond the known, beyond the familiar. 2. The decision to travel. One night, while reflecting on the Qur'an, he read a verse that changed his life. And he taught Adam the names of all things, Qur'an 2:31. This reminded him that seeking knowledge is an act of worship. So he decided he would leave his hometown, he would travel across lands, seas, and deserts. He would meet scholars, leaders, and ordinary people. He would search for three answers that would illuminate the purpose of life, faith, and guidance. His family and friends were concerned. It is dangerous to travel so far alone. But he replied, if I do not seek knowledge, how will I fulfill the trust Allah has given me? 3. Preparing for the journey. Before leaving, he prepared carefully. He studied maps, languages, and cultures, that he memorized key Quranic verses that would guide him through difficulties, that he made dua for safety, clarity, and insight. The Qur'an had taught him, and say, my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Qur'an 20:114. With this dua in his heart, he stepped beyond the familiar streets of his town into the unknown world. 4. The first challenges. Even in the first days of travel, he faced tests, harsh weather, and fatigue. Skeptical locals who doubted his purpose. Moments of doubt and fear in the middle of deserts and crowded cities. But he remembered the Qur'an's promise. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Qur'an 2:286. Each challenge strengthened his resolve, reminding him that knowledge often requires sacrifice. 5. The inner transformation. The journey was not just physical, it was deeply spiritual. He learned patience when travel delayed him, that he learned humility when his knowledge was questioned. He learned gratitude for the small signs of guidance he encountered every day. The Qur'an teaches, those who have been given knowledge see its light. Paraphrased. And so, he began to see the light of insight emerging from every encounter, every challenge, every reflection. 6. Setting the stage for the three answers. By the end of Chapter 1, the scholar has left home, carrying faith, curiosity, and the Qur'an as his guide. He has faced the first tests and realized that true knowledge is more than facts. It is understanding, wisdom, and application. The world is vast, the answers are not simple, and his journey has only just begun. First answer: discovering the truth in the Qur'an, where his travels will bring him to the heart of divine knowledge. First answer: discovering the truth in the Qur'an. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. After leaving his hometown, the scholar's first destination was a city renowned for its libraries and Quranic scholars. His goal was clear: to seek the first answer, the ultimate truth found in the Qur'an itself. 1. Immersing in Quranic knowledge. He spent long hours in study circles, listening to learned scholars recite and interpret the Qur'an. Every verse, every story, every commandment carried layers of wisdom. He discovered that the Qur'an was not merely a book, but a living guide, addressing the mind, heart, and soul simultaneously. He realized truth is not just to be read. It is to be understood, reflected upon, and lived. The verse that struck him most was, "This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah." Quran 2:2. It reminded him that divine truth is absolute, and human effort is required to recognize it. 2. Encountering teachers and mentors. In the city, he met several scholars. Some emphasized strict rules without understanding. Others focused on worldly knowledge without spiritual depth. Through observation and reflection, the scholar learned that truth lies at the balance of knowledge and faith. He also realized that the Quran often answers questions indirectly, through stories of past nations, prophets, and miracles, through moral guidance and reflection on the natural world. He learned that seeking truth is not passive. It requires patience, discussion, and reflection. 3. Understanding the nature of truth. The scholar's study revealed 3 key insights about divine truth. Truth is unchanging, despite time, place, or human opinion. Truth requires application. Knowledge without practice is incomplete. Truth is transformative. When embraced, it shapes character, decisions, and destiny. These insights were not just academic. They penetrated his heart, inspiring him to live according to the Quran, even before discovering the other answers. 4. Applying the Quran to the world. The scholar began to notice patterns. Societies that neglected truth faced corruption, injustice, and moral decay. Communities that embraced divine guidance prospered spiritually and socially. He realized that the Quran is a map, not just for personal faith, but for building just peaceful and prosperous societies. This understanding gave him a profound sense of purpose. I am not merely learning for myself. I am learning to serve others and guide them toward Allah. 5. Challenges in accepting the truth. Even in the libraries and study circles, he faced challenges. Some scholars argued over interpretations, causing confusion that he confronted doubts within his own heart. How can one text contain answers to everything? But Allah guided him through reflection and prayer. He learned that seeking truth is a journey, not a destination, and sincerity is the key to understanding. 6. The scholar's first revelation. The scholar grasped the first answer. The ultimate truth lies in the Quran, that he understood that the Quran is living guidance, offering insight, moral clarity, and divine wisdom. His journey was no longer just a physical quest. It had become a spiritual awakening. The stage was now set for Chapter 3, Second Answer. Lessons from the people and nations he visited, where his travels would reveal insights from human experience and society. Second Answer. Lessons from the people and nations he visited. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. After immersing himself in the Quran and understanding its ultimate truth, the scholar realized that knowledge alone was not enough. To uncover the second answer, he needed to witness the world, its people, nations, cultures, and systems, to see divine guidance applied in real life. 1. Observing human societies. The scholar traveled far and wide, bustling cities, remote villages, deserts, and coastal towns. In every place, he observed how people treated one another, how rulers exercised justice, how communities upheld morality, faith, and social responsibility. He noticed a recurring pattern. Societies that ignored moral guidance became corrupt and chaotic, Societies that followed principles aligned with divine wisdom prospered spiritually and socially. He began to understand that human behavior is a mirror of faith. The Quran provides the guide, but it is lived out in the actions of people. 2. Learning from scholars and leaders. In each city, he met scholars, judges, and community leaders. Some prioritized power, wealth, or fame over truth. Others demonstrated humility, justice, and wisdom. Through these encounters, he learned, knowledge alone is insufficient. It must be combined with integrity, compassion, and action. He saw that even the best knowledge could be wasted if applied selfishly or dishonestly. 3. Understanding justice and leadership. One of the most impactful lessons came from observing governance. A just ruler inspired loyalty, prosperity, and peace. A tyrant spread fear, oppression, and suffering. He reflected on Qur'anic guidance. Indeed, Allah commands justice and good conduct. Quran 16 hours 90 minutes. This taught him that divine guidance extends beyond personal faith to society at large, and that humans are responsible for justice in their communities. 4. Witnessing struggles and compassion. The scholar also traveled to places struck by famine, poverty, and oppression. He saw suffering caused by greed, injustice, and ignorance, that he also saw communities helping one another, guided by empathy and moral principles. From this, he realized, faith must be actionable. Compassion and service are essential components of true understanding. The Quran does not simply instruct. It inspires practical action to improve lives. 5. Lessons on humanity. By observing nations and people, the scholar extracted several key lessons. Faith without action is incomplete. Justice is central to societal prosperity. Knowledge must serve humanity, not just the self. Challenges are universal, but divine guidance offers solutions. He began to see a universal pattern. The Quran's principles work in every society, every era, and every circumstance. 6. The scholar's second revelation. By the end of chapter 3, the second answer became clear. Wisdom from the Quran must be applied in the world through justice, compassion, and righteous action. Knowledge and reflection alone are insufficient. Observing life, applying moral principles, and serving humanity complete the understanding. The journey now prepared him for the final answer, the ultimate purpose of life, which he would discover in chapter 4. Third answer, understanding the purpose of life. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Having discovered the truth in the Quran and observed how it manifests in the lives of people and nations, the scholar realized there was one final answer he had to seek, the purpose of life itself. This was the most personal, profound, and challenging question. 1. The scholar's reflection. While resting in a quiet valley, he pondered, why did Allah create humanity? Why do humans face trials, joys, and struggles? How should one live to fulfill their true purpose? He realized that while knowledge and action were essential, without understanding the ultimate purpose, life could feel directionless. The Quran gave him guidance. And I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. Quran 51:56. Worship here was more than ritual. It included aligning one's life, actions, and intentions with divine guidance. 2. Seeking meaning in action. The scholar observed the world. People pursuing wealth but losing morality. Others seeking fame but neglecting compassion. Few balancing faith, knowledge, and service. He understood that purpose is found at the intersection of faith, action, and wisdom. Faith directs the heart. Knowledge guides the mind. Action shapes the world. True purpose emerges when all three align under Allah's guidance. 3. Understanding trials and life's challenges. The scholar reflected on the Qur'anic principle. We will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives, and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient. Quran 2:155. He realized that life's challenges are not obstacles, but tools for growth and understanding. Patience builds resilience. Reflection builds wisdom. Reliance on Allah builds strength and peace. Thus, Trials are not meaningless. They are part of the divine purpose, to shape humans into faithful, wise, and compassionate beings. 4. Witnessing divine signs in creation. To understand life's purpose further, the scholar studied nature. Rivers sustaining civilizations, stars guiding travelers, seasons balancing ecosystems. He saw Allah's signs in every element of creation, teaching harmony, balance, and responsibility. From this, he understood humans are stewards of the earth, tasked with worship through action, care, and justice. 5. Connecting knowledge, action, and purpose. The scholar's journey revealed the ultimate truth. Knowledge of the Qur'an provides guidance. Observation of people and nations teaches practical wisdom. Reflection on life's trials and the universe reveals purpose. All three are interconnected. Ignoring any one aspect leads to incomplete understanding. This realization became his guiding principle for the rest of his life. 6. The scholar's third revelation. By the end of chapter 4, he understood that the purpose of life is to worship Allah through knowledge, action, and reflection. Life is a journey of learning, applying wisdom, and serving humanity. This final answer gave him clarity, direction, and peace, the culmination of his lifelong quest. The stage is now set for Chapter 5, Challenges and Tests on the Journey, where he faces real-life trials that test his understanding of knowledge, action, and purpose. Challenges and Tests on the Journey. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Even the most devoted seeker of knowledge faces trials, and our scholar was no exception. After uncovering the three answers, the truth of the Qur'an, lessons from humanity, and the purpose of life, he encountered challenges that tested not only his understanding, but also his character, patience, and faith. 1. Facing skepticism and opposition. As he traveled from city to city, not everyone welcomed him. Some scholars challenged his interpretations. Certain leaders questioned his motives. Ordinary people doubted the value of his mission. Through these experiences, he learned, truth is not always embraced by the world. It often faces resistance. He remained patient, remembering the Qur'anic teaching. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth. Quran 30:60. 2. The temptation of comfort and wealth. The scholar encountered opportunities for ease, luxurious accommodations, invitations to remain in comfort rather than continue his journey, offers of wealth in exchange for compromising his principles. But he realized that true seekers of knowledge do not pursue worldly gain. His guiding thought was, I seek what lasts in the sight of Allah, not what fades in the eyes of men. Every temptation strengthened his resolve and reinforced the lessons of faith, patience, and integrity. 3. Physical and emotional hardships. Traveling across lands was not easy. Harsh weather, long deserts, and turbulent seas tested his endurance. Illness and fatigue challenged both body and spirit. Moments of loneliness made him question the journey. Yet, he turned to the Quran and dua for strength, and rely upon Allah, and sufficient is Allah as disposer of affairs. Quran 33:3. Each hardship became a reminder that spiritual growth often comes through struggle. 4. Moral and ethical dilemmas. The scholar faced situations requiring difficult choices, standing up against injustice even when powerful rulers opposed him, choosing between helping some who were oppressed versus continuing his search for answers, balancing honesty with diplomacy to avoid unnecessary harm. He understood that knowledge without wisdom is dangerous, and that faith must guide decisions in every situation. 5. Witnessing the fragility of human societies. During his travels, he saw nations rise and fall, corruption, greed, and oppression destroying civilizations, communities thriving when guided by justice, compassion, and adherence to divine principles. These observations reinforced his earlier lessons. Knowledge and action must be coupled with wisdom. Divine guidance is practical, not abstract. Life's purpose includes serving humanity and promoting justice. 6. The scholar's resilience. By confronting these trials, the scholar achieved something profound. His faith grew stronger, rooted in both knowledge and experience. His understanding of life's purpose deepened, that he realized that tests are not obstacles, but divine tools to strengthen insight and character. He began to see that his journey was not merely about answers, but about internal transformation, preparing him to share wisdom with others. 7. Preparing for the return. As Chapter 5 concludes, the scholar has faced intellectual, emotional, and physical tests. He has integrated the lessons of the Qur'an, humanity, and life's purpose into his being. He is ready for the final chapter. Chapter 6. The Return Home, sharing the knowledge and insights, where his journey comes full circle, benefiting others with the wisdom he gained. The Return Home, sharing knowledge and insights. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. After years of traveling, seeking answers, and facing countless trials, the scholar finally returned home. His journey was no longer about personal discovery alone. It was about sharing the wisdom he had gained with his community and guiding others on the path of faith, knowledge, and purpose. 1. Reconnecting with his roots. Upon arriving, he found his hometown both familiar and changed. Streets where he had walked as a youth now bustled with new faces. Teachers and elders he had learned from were older or gone. Yet, the community still hungered for knowledge and guidance. He realized that true insight is meant to be shared. Knowledge hoarded benefits no one. 2. Teaching the three answers. The scholar began to share what he had discovered. The Quran as ultimate truth. He taught that the Quran is a living guide, offering direction for personal faith, moral clarity, and societal harmony. Lessons from humanity. He emphasized that observing the world and applying wisdom helps transform lives and communities. Purpose of life. He explained that life is meaningful when faith, knowledge, and action align, and that trials are opportunities for growth. His teachings were not just lectures, but lived examples. His experiences gave weight to every lesson. 3. Inspiring transformation. The scholar's words began to impact his community. Young students became eager to seek knowledge, combining Qur'anic study with real-world observation. Leaders and elders reflected on justice, compassion, and the responsibility of governance. Ordinary people learned to approach daily life with purpose and mindfulness. Through his guidance, he demonstrated that wisdom transforms not only the individual, but also the society around them. 4. Writing and documentation. Understanding the importance of preserving his journey, the scholar documented his travels, reflections, and the answers he found. Wrote commentaries connecting Quranic verses with practical life lessons. Shared anecdotes of the people and nations he observed, illustrating the universal applicability of divine guidance. This ensured that his journey would continue to teach and inspire generations to come. 5. Emphasizing practical faith. He reminded his students and followers that true learning is not confined to books. Observation. Learn from the world around you. Reflection. Connect experiences with divine guidance. Action. Apply knowledge to serve humanity and uphold justice. By integrating these steps, he embodied the Quranic principle that faith, knowledge, and action are interconnected. 6. Legacy of the journey. The scholar's journey created a lasting impact. His story became a beacon of guidance for seekers of knowledge worldwide. Communities inspired by him flourished spiritually and morally. His life demonstrated that the pursuit of understanding, when guided by Allah, transforms both the seeker and those around them. He understood that the true reward of knowledge lies in sharing it, and that divine wisdom grows when passed from heart to heart. The scholar's quest for three answers revealed profound truths about faith, humanity, and purpose. His journey illustrates that knowledge is inseparable from experience, reflection, and action. Most importantly, it reminds us all, seeking truth is a lifelong endeavor, guided by Allah, and meant to be shared with the world. Mallam JIJI. This chapter closes the scholar's journey, a story of courage, wisdom, and divine guidance, leaving lessons that inspire all seekers of knowledge. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. We have reached the end of this incredible journey, the story of the scholar who traveled far and wide in search of truth, wisdom, and the purpose of life. His journey teaches us that true knowledge is rooted in the Qur'an. Observing humanity and learning from the world is essential. Understanding life's purpose requires reflection, patience, and action. This story reminds every believer that seeking knowledge is not a task of comfort, but of courage, persistence, and trust in Allah. It also shows us that the lessons we gain are meant to be shared, applied, and lived, not just studied. Now, I want you to take action. Like this video if this story inspired your pursuit of knowledge. Comment below, which of the 3 answers touched your heart most? Share this video with friends, family, and your community so others may benefit from the wisdom of the Qur'an. Subscribe to Wisdom from a Minbar and turn on notifications to never miss another story of insight, guidance, and miracles from the Qur'an. Remember, my brothers and sisters, knowledge without application is incomplete, but when combined with faith, reflection, and action, it becomes a light that guides generations. I am your brother, Mallam JIJI, and I will continue bringing you the timeless wisdom and lessons of the Qur'an. May Allah bless you, increase your understanding, and guide you on the path of truth.